Alright guys, welcome back to the Dark Souls 3 all-in-one guide. Today we're going to be going through the Ringed City, widely regarded the most difficult area of the entire game, and probably true. Now we're completely retooling for the Ringed City. For your weapon, we just want the Demon Scar for this first part. We're going to have the Old Witch's Ring, the Swamp Ring, the Fire Clutch Ring, and the Lloyd's Sword Ring. We are going to change a couple of rings out, but for this first part, this is what you want your ring setup to look like. And you only need one weapon, and that's the Demon Scar for this part only. We are going to do some changes after this section. For your spells, you're going to have to attune one Pyromancy, which is the Chaos Bed Vestiges, and we're going to go with Hidden Body for later. This is all we need for now. When you first start this area, run as fast as you can, and you might be able to make it to the second set of tombstones. But if you don't think you can make it, just go to the first set of tombstones. In my Indiana Jones walkthrough, I didn't bother to kill the Judicator or loot the area. I just ran through this whole area. And you don't have to fight anything. You can go all the way to the end and just run past the enemies. But we're going to kill everything. So this is how you do it. You want to get to this set of tombstones here, and there'll be a skeleton that rises up. Just wait for him to round the corner here and throw a fireball at him. With our current setup, you'll be able to one-shot these skeletons no problem. You want to drop down here and get this item behind you. And there'll be a crystal lizard on the way here. You just usually wait till he stops. This next section can be quite tricky, but there's an easy and a consistent way to do it, and I'm going to show you guys right now. Get up the ladder, and go up the stairs and turn right. You want to wait for the archers to stop firing, and quickly run up here and throw a fireball at the Adjudicator. But run back to cover. Now the Judicator is tricky. He will spawn in a Silver Knight Leto nearby if he can't get you with the archers, and that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for that spawn so you can run up here and throw another fireball. And you're basically just going to rinse and repeat. When you know he's spawned in Silver Knight Leto, you know you can come up here and throw a fireball. I usually just throw one because there's a couple more skeletons you're going to have to take out, as well as watch out for Silver Knight Leto and the archers. See right here, he's spawning the archers. We're just waiting for him to spawn in Leto. And there's Leto. Just go back and do it again. This is the safest, most consistent way that I have found to not take any damage and to kill everything in this area. You might notice this Pyromancy takes quite a bit more focus points than the magic we've been using throughout this walkthrough. And that's another reason why we'll have to sit at bonfires in this DLC, because we have to replenish our Asta Nestus. But that's how you do it. Easy peasy. You can loot this entire area, and there's quite a bit to loot. There's quite a few green blossoms, the special green blossoms, the budding green blossoms. There's some upgrade materials, some souls, and of course you'll get the divine, or the hidden blessing down here, but you'll also get a hidden blessing by killing the Judicator. But there's also a cool armor set from Dark Souls 2 near the beginning. And now that the archers are gone, we can safely loot it. You can actually loot that set of armor without killing the Judicator, but I like to kill the Judicator and just loot everything at once. Once you feel like you've looted everything, you need to go past the staircase, and further beyond that staircase is the Ruined Sentinel armor. Yes, the Ruined Sentinels from Dark Souls 2. A pretty slick, cool piece of armor. We're not going to wear it, of course. We're sticking with Moman's armor. But it's back here. Do some slight retooling here. We're going to get our bow ready because we're only going to use it once here, but there's an enemy that can glitch on us, and we're going to get the Shield of Want back for extra souls. Plus, they like to. There's a little area where it's kind of tight, and they might overwhelm us. And having your shield out will help you not take damage. But there is a glitched enemy, and the way to unglitch him is to use the bow or poison him. But we're gonna use the bow just to get him out of his hiding spot. Because if you try to do it any other way, he glitches through the floor for some reason. I've watched other people's walkthroughs and it's happened to them as well. I guess this is just something that got past the quality control, I guess.
Many of us are by the fire, forsaken.
Another preacher giving a sermon.
And mine, behold, fear and let.
Their first ambush is right here. This enemy is waiting to jump out at you. Again, this is why you want the shield. He likes to push as well. 3 shots with a double-handed demon scar will take out these basic enemies. There is an enemy that's hanging above us, but we're going to go ahead and go back to our stealth setup. So we're taking off the fire ring, and we're going to put the slumbering Dragon Crest ring on because we're going to need this throughout the entire DLC. Now, we're going with our stealth setup halfway. We're not going to be using the lingering Dragon Crest ring. We're going to be going through a lot more Ashen Estus because of this as well. We can stealth kill these guys. The hidden body will last a lot less time now that we don't have the lingering Dragon Crest ring. So we have to keep... I usually count about 13 seconds this time instead of 20. And then reapply if I'm in an area I don't want to get caught in. But this is the glitched enemy. You just want to shoot him and let him come up. If you attack him in any other way besides poison or just shooting him to get him to come out, he will glitch through the floor. There's another one up here just hanging about. We'll just use our fireball on him. And there'll be another enemy that comes as soon as you approach this item. And this is it for the first section. This is the inner city bonfire. You're going to be coming back to this area multiple times because there's a shortcut that leads to the boss here. Quickly to both bosses, actually, or all 3 bosses. You can get to all 3 bosses from this bonfire once you open up the shortcut. We're going to go back to Firelink because we have some extra souls, and we want to get our intelligence to 40 as quickly as we can, so that our pyromancies are even more potent. The soft cap is 40 faith and 40 intelligence, and we're just a couple of levels off of intelligence. I don't know, attunement will be the next thing we mess with, but not right now. I was toying with doing it now because of the amount that I was going to be using, and then I changed my mind. So we're not going to use attunement, we're going with intelligence. Only 1 level off now. If you don't have any right now, you can go ahead and also buy some Undead Hunter Charms. You're definitely going to need some by the end of this DLC. If you don't have any, just buy them now if you want. Alright, when you start off, let's get our poison out. And we're going to poison this guy right here. You want to lock onto him to make sure he gets poisoned correctly. And then we're going to stand in front of these candles and poison upwards a little bit until you see the ticker there. This will be the shortcut that opens up later, but we can't open it from this side. Now we're going to redo our weapons. You're going to want the lightning dagger in the first slot, the crow talons in the second slot, and then the demon scar in the third slot. This is very important to have it in this order. We're going to let them die to the poison while we go talk to our friend Amnesiac Lap. We still have to continue his quest line. Normally I skip through the dialogue, but because we're waiting for the poison, we're just going to let him talk.
A true blessing that we should seek the same place and find ourselves standing here together. I've got the last of my brew. Let's have our own little toast with it. To my search, and to your duty, and to the joy that lies before us. Ah, right then. Bottoms up. Now, I'm off in search of the Purging Monument. Once I find it, everything will come back to me. Who I was, what I lived for, what my name was, and what terrible grudges I held. I don't know. I just have this feeling that that's the kind of man I was. Oh, don't hold it against me. I only think I was. Now,
Make sure to exhaust every bit of dialogue from Lap before moving on, so he'll move to the next section. Your poison should have killed both enemies. This one right here in particular has cursed crystals on his back, so you want to be careful and just throw a fireball from a distance. This one's just playing possum. You want to run through this door and then turn around as soon as you hit the threshold to avoid the ambush from above. Now we're going to get our hidden body out for this next section. We have to keep a good timer in our head for this one. You want to run up here, activate hidden body, get poison ready, poison this ring knight. If you have to, reapply hidden body because you want to get up here and throw one fireball at this enemy. Reactivate hidden body, and now just kind of stand behind the ring knight. He won't look at you because you have the slumbering dragon crest ring, so you're not making any noise. We're just going to stand behind him until our hidden body runs out, and then we're going to backstab him. But after we backstab him, we're going to quickly switch to our crow talons, double hand them, and use our special, and he'll die. There's an enemy right here. We're just going to sidestep, throw a fireball at him. There's an enemy down here. We're just going to plunge attack. Now, very important to note, these next enemies are extremely annoying. Always attack with hidden body active, because if you don't, they'll just start casting their spells over and over, and it's very annoying. You can one-shot them, and they'll never cast their dark magic, rings or whatever that follow you throughout the level. It's very annoying to deal with. So I recommend just never letting them see you in the first place. Attack from the safety of hidden body with Chaos Bed Vestiges, and they'll be one-shotted. You'll never have to hear that annoying ring sound of that dark magic attacking you. You want to come over here, reactivate hidden body, and don't jump off. You want to roll off, or you'll take fall damage. Throw one more fireball at this one. We're going to do a quick jump to where he was. And there's a ringed knight down there just patrolling, and he's one of those annoying spear users, which are the bane of my existence. So we're going to go hidden body and drop down safely. And just get behind him and backstab him. This is one we're just going to do the old hidden body spam. Just back up, let him turn around. We've been doing this since the Cathedral of the Deep. They'll sometimes drop scales, which is cool. Now, right here, get your hidden body ready. You want to turn right. You're on a timer here because there are some Herald Knights that are coming up here, and they can see you right by this door. They can still see you're not safe. You want to quickly skip through all this dialogue so you can get the quest objective, which is to kill Midir, the dragon, and you'll get the Titanite slab when you come back here upon killing the dragon. And you also get the Chime of Filianor. But be wary. You start hearing those clanks of armor, you know that the Herald Knights are on their way. Go ahead and cast hidden body and start counting. About 13 seconds, just cast again. This, as long as you have the hidden body equipped, this knight will just walk past you. Once you hear the clanking thud, you'll know he's gotten to his position. And you just want to plunge attack him with the lightning dagger, and you'll one-shot him. The lightning dagger will one-shot these Herald Knights. This one's a cursed enemy. You want to hurry up and take him out. But for the most part, you want to be using fire on these enemies. 3 shots. Alright, this is a little speedy here. We're going to go hidden body. You got to run fast. You want to use the Chaos Bed Vestiges on this enemy because it's annoying because of how he's positioned. Then you will backstab this one. If you don't use the fireball on that first enemy, he can come right back to you and harass you throughout the rest of this area. So it's just better to just go ahead and kill him with the fireball. Activate hidden body and come around this structure and poison this knight and then run away from him. Something interesting that I found out by playing this DLC is we can cheese the NPCs. We do not have to fight them legit, and there's nothing they can do about it as long as we do it correctly. So much like using hidden body to backstab, we can use hidden body to use Chaos Bed Vestiges from a distance and kill the NPCs without them ever knowing we're here. As long as you keep your distance and watch what the NPC is doing. If the NPC is about to fire his crossbow, then kind of just take cover. I usually just throw one fireball, see what he does, and throw another one. But if I need to reactivate hidden body, I do it. As you can see, the enemy never knew we were there in the first place. And we can do this with all the NPCs in this level. This strategy also works for the mini-boss of the area, the Dragon Slayer armor. Although you have to be quite far away for that one, but we'll get to that later. You want to return to the knight that we poisoned, and by now he should be one backstab away from death. If not, we'll just slash him one time when he rises up after being backstabbed. You don't have to use hidden body. You approach him from behind. See, he just one shot away. Alright, you don't have to deal with these Herald Knights, but we're going to do it anyway, just for the sake of doing it. Show you guys how to do it easily. So, again, plunge attacks are the only way I like to kill these guys. There's just really no other way I want to kill them. So, there's 2 of them here, but there's going to be 3 more that spawn. We're not going to kill all of them, but we're going to kill these 2 at least. You want to cast Hidden Body before plunge attacking, because if you don't, as soon as you get done killing this one, the other one will aggro on you. So just kill that one and then come up back here and do it again. It's just a matter of timing your drops. It's not that hard to do, really. But again, using Hidden Body before plunge attacking if you see any more enemies in the vicinity. Plus, if they see you from here, they'll stop their patrol route and come at you. So we still want to make sure we cast Hidden Body on his way back to us. Now once we get done with this one, you want to make sure you get your fireball ready. And Hidden Body, of course. There's one of those turtle priests. You want to make sure you one-shot him. But by one-shotting him, you'll kill his friend right next to him. Collateral damage. There's a programmed enemy over here. Well, he's programmed to jump out at you no matter what, if he sees you or not. So we're just going to draw him out. But first we want to kill the enemy in front of us. Now just kind of step up and then just drop back. And then kill him. Now we're going to go get one of the cool weapons of the DLC. The weapon that the Ring Knights are using. One of them is the spear, and that's what we're getting now. But before we do, we want to make sure we come over here and kill this guy. He's got one of those crystals on his back. He'll curse you. And you don't want to linger too long because the Herald Knights are spawning. There's 3 of them that spawn from the gook at the base of the stairs. But here you can just kind of free aim your fireballs and one-shot these guys. They're all cursed, most of them. One here as well. Now, be very careful in this area. There are enemies that will drop down from above, and there's one that can see you from even further up, and you can't really reach him with anything, and he's going to throw lightning bolts at you, so just better to just be careful in this area. We're going to poison this knight for now. And there's one enemy that's already dropped down. We're going to deal with him before taking on the knight. But there's also another one that's hanging about the pillar right there. I really missed the Lingering Dragon Crest ring for this section. We're going to be burning through so much Aston Estus because of this. You want to make sure you approach this knight with Hidden Body active so you don't get hit from the lightning bolt from above. We're going to finish him off with our crow talons here. But yeah, there's a guy on the left there. He will throw lightning at you. We're going to free aim our fireball here. You hit the pillar, you'll kill him pretty much. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can try to plunge attack one of these Herald Knights down here. I've actually done it, so I know it's possible, but I couldn't do it consistently. Here's another preaching sermon here if you want to get close to this guy.
But in the end, whoever his knowledge was wanting, the world began without knowledge, and without knowledge will it end. Does not this ring clear and true? Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
But yeah, if you really want to try it, you can. I have done it. I know it's possible, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Now we want to make sure we go Hidden Body here before picking up the Ringed Knight Spear. Because like I said, that guy from above, he will throw lightning bolts at you. Better safe than sorry. We're just going to walk to the bonfire now because, like I said, the Herald Knights are really not worth fighting from here on out. But you can plunge attack them over and over you want to. But we've established the way to kill them. There's just no reason for us to fight these here. We're just going to walk past them. Hidden Body, you can just walk past them. You get surprisingly close to them as well. And we're not going to fight this preacher here either. These enemies can be quite formidable, but with our setup, we can two-shot them with the Chaos Bed Vestiges when we do need to fight them. But we're just going to walk around this one and get to the bonfire. And now we can go back to Firelink and upgrade again, and we'll be able to max out our Pyromancy soft cap. The next stat that I'm going to invest in is Attunement. I know I have neglected health. 18 vigor is not a lot of vigor, and I've pretty much completed the whole game now. So health really isn't that important in my opinion. I just don't feel like I need to invest much in it. However, in the New Game Plus playthroughs, I can just use Yol to get 5 free levels each time. So that's 10 extra levels right there if I have to do it. But to be honest, I just don't see the need. But of course, you can do you.
For the link. Very well then taken.
We get our intelligence to 40. Of course, you can always respec at Rosaria if a certain build isn't working for you. But I still think that this build that I've come up with is pretty solid for going through the game. I mean, you can cheese a lot of the enemies, a lot of the NPCs, the bosses. I mean, I've played this game several times in several different builds, and I still think that this is probably the most effective, easiest one I've ever come up with. Now we're going to be tackling the upper section of the Ring City. Well, one of the sides anyway. The left side of this area we're going to go ahead and tackle. You want to drop down here and get the White Preacher's Head. And there's a dark gem surrounded by these little preachers. Now, there's one that's a little ballsy and will come and attack you, and it's this one right here. So we're just going to attack him. You can see the other ones run away, but he stays and stands his ground there. He's actually hit me before, so we're going to kill him. Come over here and get the chunk. Now, right here, you definitely want to go Hidden Body because there's one that likes to go all spinny on you. We're just going to attack with our fireball. Three fireballs. You should be able to use 3 fireballs before having to drink more Estus. Now there's a very squirrely, hard to get Crystal Lizard up here, so we're going to use Hidden Body and the fireball to take him out, because otherwise he's probably going to get away from you. He's very hard to get. So right here we're just going to go Hidden Body. Don't get too close either. Once he starts running, he's going to go off the edge, and he doesn't die from the fall usually. Now right here, we're just going to poison this ring knight. Reapply. We want to poison both ring knights here. And we'll come back to them later. There's a few more enemies along the way here. One's going to come up from right here. And he's got the crystals on his back, so stay far away and throw a fireball. This one's just hanging about. We still got one more, but we'll get him on the way out. But right over here, we're going to continue Lap's quest and get the covetous gold ring +3. This is going to be the ring that you want to use for farming, no doubt.
Sorry.
Exhaust his dialogue.
Just
You haven't seen the Purging Monument yet, so you can't tell him where it is. So right here, we're just going to go around the left side of this structure. A good thing about poisoning these enemies is we always know where their positions are. There's no surprises around the corner for us. We can attack this enemy from here. And they're pretty much ripe for some backstabs now. But always use Hidden Body, because if you don't, this is what will happen. As you can see, I didn't use Hidden Body, and I have alerted the other Ring Knight, and he's on his way. So you got to hurry up and recast, and he's already got great range on his weapons. Don't be surprised if he hits you. So that's why you want to use Hidden Body before engaging, because then that'll happen. But he's de-aggroed now, so we can finish him off. Now we're going to be killing an NPC. The Silver Knight Leto, the one that the Judicator was spawning in. We're going to kill him for real now. And we're going to use the same method that we used to kill Alva. As long as you keep your distance and keep Hidden Body applied, and don't throw more than 2 fireballs at a time, because that somehow knocks them out of this state where they just don't know what's going on. As long as you throw 1 fireball, kind of let things die down a little bit, wait for him to stop moving, then throw another one. Just make sure your Hidden Body is active and you'll be fine. I usually just stand right here, throw 1, do Hidden Body, wait for him to stop moving. If he stops moving, you're good to throw another one. Upon killing him, you'll get the Leto's Great Hammer. A whopping 60 strength is required to use this thing one-handed. So if you got the hankering to use that sucker, you're going to have to go respec if you're following my build, as I'm only at 20 strength. You get the chunk here, and we're going to go get the next ring, the Havel's Ring +3. You'll need to do quite a few drops here. And since we don't have Spook equipped, we don't want to take fall damage, so just carefully walk off. And there it is. Now we're going to go back to the bonfire. But this is how we deal with the preachers. 2 shots. They'll never see it coming. As long as you're attacking with Hidden Body equipped, you're good to go. Before we go to the bonfire, let's go ahead and loot this little section here. There's a weapon up here, the Ring Knight Sword, straight sword. It's kind of like your Sith's lightsaber. We already had the light side saber earlier with the Aquamarine dagger. Now, if you want to go to the dark side and do a Star Wars build, this is the sword you want, definitely. Just don't let the Adjudicator see you. He'll spawn in a witch as well. Does some kind of magic attack on the ground that's quite annoying. And here we're just going to go run through the swamp and loot the items and just keep hidden body equipped. There's no reason to fight these enemies because there's too many of them for one thing. They come up through the sludge here, and there's multiple of them. They'll gang up on you. The preachers will, and it's just, we don't have time for that. Let's just get the items and get out of here. Be careful approaching the Judicator if he's nearby this item sometimes, because he will slam and then start summoning things. But right here, we're just going to approach. I guess we aren't going to the bonfire here. I thought I went to the bonfire. Maybe next time. But again, we're just going to use our fireballs to take these guys out. Now, we got to be careful here. There are multiple priests, the turtle priests here. We got to keep our hidden body active and just make sure we keep a good timer in our head, 13 seconds or so. So up here, we're going to just throw one at this one right here. Now, there's an annoying creature here that's going to interrupt you, so we need to take him out before continuing. Do not go up this hill until reactivating hidden body, because the range on these spells is quite staggering. These ringed dark spells that these priests use, they're so annoying to deal with. So we never want to see that thing even pop up. So one shot this one. There's a bow right there, but before we get that, let's just go ahead and take out all the turtles. There's one hiding right here, and one will approach from this way. Now we can loot the area, but there's still a few more we got to deal with. Well, actually one that's going to be aggroing on us. The other ones are passive unless you go into a room, but we're going to kill all those anyway before entering a room. But right here is the last one. But there's this building here that has an item. If you go in the building without killing the turtles, they're going to all come in there at you at once. So they're passive as long as you don't go in the building. But you go in the building, they're all coming at you. So we're just going to kill them all before going in the building. And you'll get the church shiv. This is the enemy that those god-awful, annoying painting guardians are going to use in the half-light spear of the church fight. It's a consumable that uses your focus points. Alright, now, the way to cheese the Dragon Slayer armor. You want to come over here. It's really important that you fast roll here. If you're not fast rolling, de-equip something just so that you can fast roll. It's important to be able to fast roll in this one. So you want to just wait till you can get a lock on him and throw one fireball. Well, we missed the first time. Once you make contact, just start backing up as far as you can until you lose his aggro. You want to keep your distance. Enough to hit him with the fireball, but just start rolling back. The further amount of distance you can keep, the easier this is going to be. You see, he almost wanted to swing at us that time. Just make sure hidden body is always active when you're attacking. Otherwise, he will not lose aggro. There just isn't an easier way to kill these guys, I don't think. That's it. You'll get his armor upon killing him. Alright, just keep your distance from the Judicator. Don't go into the swamp. We've already looted all the items. There's no reason to go anywhere near the Judicator. We want to stick to the left side here. And there's a chunk on the way coming up. But there's quite a few ring knights that are going to be in our way. We don't have to kill them, and we're not going to kill all of them. I thought about poisoning all of them and coming back, but then I changed my mind. So there really is no point in it unless you just want to kill them. But there is a piece of armor near one of them. We are going to get that one. But the rest of them, they can just stay there. But you can see there's one up top. There's one down there. There's another one over at the left. Best is to go hidden body and approach from the left side. And you'll get this armor piece right here. You can poison this guy. Now, I thought about killing all of these guys, and then I changed my mind. Like I said, you don't have to kill these guys. There really is no reason. But they're easy enough to kill just the way we've been killing all the other ones. You can poison them, wait for the poison to take effect, backstab them, use crow talons if you want, but I just changed my mind. There is one that we are going to have to kill, though, coming up. Well, we don't actually have to kill him, but we are going to kill him. He's guarding a shield. Did I actually go back and kill him? I can't remember. I record these things and then later on I edit them. But I just think I changed my mind. Yeah, I didn't kill him. Sometimes I forget what the hell I did in the video. Sometimes it's like a week before I can get to editing it. Now there is a ring knight down here on patrol. This one you do want to deal with. He's guarding a shield. But we can cheese him. Backstab cheese him. Alright, now we can get the shield. The Dragonhead Great Shield. There's another variety of this shield that we'll get later on once we get to the Purging Monument. Now we want to open up the shortcut. We are not dealing with Midir yet. We'll do that soon, but not right now. We want to come around here and open up this shortcut. Absolutely vital to open up this shortcut. In fact, you can't even complete Lap's quests unless you do this. Well, I guess technically you could. You just have to walk a very, very painful walk around. Haven't tried it. Basically, you have to become a humanity, and it's a very slow, painful walk. Suppose you could walk through the swamp to do it, but why would you want to? Attunement is our next stat that we're interested in. Gives us more focus points and we'll eventually get more attunement slots. Just get rid of some souls here. And like I said, if you don't have Undead Hunter Charms, make sure you buy a couple, 5, whatever. You just want to make sure you have some. No, don't have enough. I think I'm going to go sell some embers here. And I didn't sell enough the first time. I do remember doing this. I didn't sell quite enough embers. I had to come back and sell another couple.
Ashen one.
Now we can get our attunement up to 20. Still not enough for a 4th attunement slot yet. But we'll get there. Now we're going to go to the Purging Monument. That's our next objective. We need to continue Lap's quest before continuing on into the catacombs and dealing with Midir. And I am going to head... This is when I decided I need to go ahead and buy some Undead Hunter Charms just to make sure I have some. In actuality, you only need one if you do a perfect run of the NPC fight, but a lot of times it takes more than one. Because this NPC is so incredibly powerful, it's unbelievable. And the most annoying, definitely the hardest one that I have fought in this game. You want to come out here and kill this preacher, and where he died, you want to go ahead and activate your young white branch. And you should eventually, you may not get the humanity sprite at first, but just keep casting the young white branches, or you can use the chameleon spell over and over until you get it. And then you're going to take your long, painful stroll until you reach this area over here on the wall. How people figure this stuff out is beyond me. I just don't know how they do it. I would have never figured this out. Who's going to figure this out? Like, seriously. Once the ladder appears, you can go up. Now, this next section is very, very, very tricky. However, I've come up with a pretty good way of doing it very quickly. You want to ignore the ring knights and go straight for the Judicator. Don't worry about the ring knights at all right now. But they're still going to be on patrol, so you kind of do this very quickly. Our idea is we kill the Adjudicator before the Ring Knight completes his round and finds us. So I'm going to put on some Green Blossom here just because I want to be able to cast faster. The faster I can cast, the faster I can kill this enemy. So Hidden Body, make sure you're topped up, and we're just going to run for the Adjudicator and just go ham on him. But you still have to be careful. You still want to use cover here to an extent. But we're just going to keep casting as fast as we can. If you get the witch, just try to dodge the attack real quick and just keep throwing. You should be able to take it out relatively quickly. 4 quick fireballs and it's over with. And you'll get the Divine Blessing again. But now you can see why we have to do it quickly. The Ring Knight is on his patrol route. He will find you. So the faster you get this done, the better. And I've never failed by doing it this way. It is a good idea to kill these things. They drop their armor, which is cool. And they also drop the Titanite scales, Titanite chunks, frequently Titanite chunks, and a Covenant item, which, well, it's a PvP Covenant. I don't even know if people still play it. But it is there if you want it. And sometimes they'll drop a pair of chunks. Definitely if you don't want to spend money on chunks, this is definitely the enemy to farm. No other enemy is better for dropping chunks. And that's it. Area clear. Now there is a shield, like I said, there is a shield down here. I was just checking to see if there was any drops. I didn't know if there was any more. I couldn't remember. There's nothing here. But you want to find the ladder and go down. And this is the area you can just run to. You don't have to fight any of those enemies. But the ladder's right here. Now, I missed the shield that's behind me. I come get it on the way out. But you want to activate the next part of Lap's quest, so you have to look at the Purging Mon. You have to look at it. Activate it. I think we're going to get the shield right now. Forgot about that enemy. But yeah, you want to activate the Purging Monument, and this will actually reactivate a boss fight. I think it's the Spear of the Church boss fight, if I'm not mistaken. I've never tried it, but once you have done that, you're going to take some fall damage. There's no getting around it here. unless you just want to warp back and take a long trek, and I just decided, nope, Lap is right here, let's just drop down. Took a little fall damage there, but that's it. Well, never mind, then I get backstabbed. But we're just on our way to Lap anyway. Exhaust his dialogue and he'll move to his final area.
What did Tam?
The catacombs.
Are you certain that they would?
Where his identity will be revealed and you'll get his armor set. Of course, you pretty much already know who he is. Now we're going to go back to the bonfire and enter our next area, the catacombs. But entering the catacombs isn't going to be so easy because Midir doesn't want us to enter the catacombs, so we have to deal with the dragon on the way. But it's easy enough. Even the first phase of this fight is pretty easy. We'll deal with his second fight in the next video. The next video is going to consist of boss fights. We're going to do 3, no, probably 4 in a row. Once he sprays fire, just run to this shiny right here as fast as you possibly can. You should be able to make it, although the enemy will come out and try to push you into the fire, but he usually does not succeed. Again, we can just roll into him and stun him. You'll get a scale here. You want to just draw out the fire before moving on to the next area. There's some rubbish along the way. If you really want it, it's worth a whopping 1 soul, but here it is. You want to drop down. There's an enemy right here. And the other one will probably get fried by the dragon up top. You probably don't have to worry about him. And he died on my playthrough right there. You want to drop down, and right here is Lap.
Oh, now go.
He's remembered who he was. And of course, you always knew he was Patches. So he'll kick you down. Now this area has always been confusing to me, but I kind of figured it out, I guess. You don't want to go that way. This is the way you want to go. You want to drop down. The first thing we want to do is kill a mimic, so we can get the Ring of the Evil Eye +3. There's a Blessed Gem here. But there's a mimic right here. I'm going to kill it. You could just use an Undead Hunter Charm and just loot it if you want to. What's the fun in that? Now, there are some skeletons that are pretty difficult to deal with, so we're going to use the Chaos Bed Vestiges on them. It one-shots them, so it's the easiest way. Well, this one we're going to just attack, but the ones from a distance. Make sure you kill them. And if they go into their parry motion, you certainly don't want to attack them then. Now, it's NPC time. So you definitely want to make sure that you can spam your hidden body here, so make sure you top off. But this is basically Irina's bodyguard. His phantom will come in and invade you. I thought we were friends, man. No, no friends here. But killing him will get you the blindfold. And the blindfold will give you a permanent 10% extra damage boost on dark damage. So, very important to kill this guy. I think it is. Make sure to take out the skeleton first. And again, we're going to keep our distance and just spam our Chaos Bed Vestiges at him with our hidden body cloak. And he'll never know we were there. He's kind of guarding an area, so he won't come at you right away. But you want to go hidden body anyway because the skeletons in these little side passages will see you. You see, I'm going to take out that one right there. And here he is. Just keep your distance. Same with the Dragon Slayer armor. Just stay far away. Recast hidden body. You'll never know what hit him. They'll just blindly attack the air. And that's it. Another NPC down. And we'll get the blindfold mask. Like I said, 10%. Permanent 10% extra damage when you wear it for dark damage. Quite useful. Because it can stack with other things. Now we just want to get to the bonfire. But here we're going to go back to the beginning and we'll get Lap's armor. Now we can go back the way we came and get to the bonfire. But basically this time we're just going to go the same way, except going behind us when we exit the area. We're going to go up the staircase instead of backwards. If you want to get to the NPC, you got to go backwards. But to get to the area that leads out to Midir, then you want to go to the left. Right here. Ah, Midir. The dragon a lot of people fear in this game. And for good reason. He does a lot of damage. But we're going to get through it very easily here. We're going to kill him very fast. Well, in this first phase, we're not really killing him, but we are going to knock him into the pit. And it's not going to take us long with our setup. We're going to go Lightning Clutch Ring. We're going to use some stamina. Chlorinate the ring here. We're going to use the Right Eye of Pontiff. And the Lloyd's Sword Ring. This is the setup you want to use. But we're not done yet. We need to attune some spells. We are going to get rid of the Chaos Bed Vestiges. We're going to go with Deep Protection and the Karthus Beacon. We're going to cast Deep Protection and Karthus Beacon before attacking him, because we're going to do so much damage to him very quickly that this fight will not last hardly at any length of time. You want to come over here into this corner and cast Deep Protection and Karthus Beacon. Get your Lightning Dagger out and run to the dragon. Start attacking him on this side first. You want to stand at the very edge without falling off when he starts breathing his fire. You cannot get hit by it if you stand right here. Continue attacking. Now when he does his slam, you want to move to the other side, because you won't be able to dodge the rest of his attacks from that side. He will do this laser attack that will hit you, and the fire will hit you as well. But you want to recast everything. And here comes the laser attack. But if you stand right here by his elbow, you cannot get hit by anything. And we're going to continue to wail on him. Now when he does his tantrum, you have to run. You cannot dodge anything that he throws at you. You have to run back to your hide spot when he does his tantrum. And you'll know he does it because he'll do a loud roar and start banging on things. You just got to know when to go. Here it comes. Right here. Run. Just start running and dodging. Just get back to your safety spot. There's nothing I've ever found to dodge anything here. You just have to get back to safety. I'm going to recast while he's doing all that. And he'll be near death here. Well, near incapacitation. And we'll deal with him in the next episode. The finale. There's going to be a turtle priest, and we don't have our fireball, so we're going to have to deal with him the traditional way. So we're going to equip the Blessed Cestus, because blunt damage is much better than anything else, besides the fire, of course, to take him out with. Because it locks them into like a... they can't do anything when you start wailing on them with the Cestus. But this is one of those spinning ones, so try not to get hit by the spin. Luckily here I did not. Somehow I did not get hit. But just go left bumper, flurry attack, and he'll be dead. There are 2 invisible walls here. And you'll get another spell, the lightning arrow. I've tried to use this spell, but I haven't found a great use for it yet. I certainly don't use it against Midir. Now we're going to get the Chloranthy Ring plus 3. We're going to take this lift up. You want to turn over here and walk through the opening. And turn right and just drop down. Try not to fall too far. We're going to go ahead and equip the Chloranthy Ring plus 3 because we're going to need it in the next boss fight anyway. We're just going to go back to the bonfire, and that will be the episode, guys. In the next episode, we're going to be killing bosses. We're going to be killing 4 bosses in a row. We're going to kill Midir the Dragon, Half-Light of the Church, Slave Knight Gale, and the Soul of Cinder. By doing all that, we'll be pretty much done with the game. However, we're far from finished, because we're doing it all in one guide, and we need all the achievements, so we have to get all the Covenant grinding done. And we still got to go back and do some odds and ends. I'll see you guys in the next one.